Can you give a short presentation of yourself?
My name is Bernice Chauly. I'm a Malaysian poet, novelist, curator, educator, and I'm currently working on a AAA video game, which I'm writing. So it's very, very different from what I've done in the past.
Why the switch?
Well, it's a job, really. And I'm writing an immersive world, so I'm creating an immersive world with characters and in plot and story, so it's a lot of fun.
Can you describe a place that you like to read, that inspires you to read or to write?
I suppose this part of Malaysia, the west coast of Peninsula Malaysia, is where my stories begin. I was born in Georgetown, my parents met there as well, and I grew up in Taiping and Ipoh, two very, very historical cities in this part of the country, and I currently live in Kuala Lumpur, which is a source of inspiration for me because it's a very contemporary, very vibrant, very cosmopolitan city with people from all over the world. And my novel, Once You Were There, is actually set in Kuala Lumpur.
Which fictional place described in your work speaks most to you, and why?
I suppose I want to go back to the place of my childhood, Taiping, which was, I mentioned earlier, a very important historical site because it was where tin was mined in the 19th century, and all these migrants came from China and created this very vibrant, very tempestuous kind of place where there were many wars. There were civil wars in the 1800s in this part of the country. And I want to write from a place where these voices have not really been explored. So to look at pre-colonial Malaya, to look at the voices of the indigenous slaves who were taken by the Malays and subjugated to all sorts of terrible things, and to look at also the role of the British coming into this country and the advent of colonialization in this part of the world, which has not really been written about very much in this country because these are very difficult, thorny issues that writers have to tackle in Malaysia, and it is also a fear that the growing encroachment upon freedom of speech is a problem that I am very, very concerned about.
And last question, in terms of a physical place that you can pin, that inspires you or makes you write?
Yes. I keep going back to my desk. It's a very beautiful Dutch colonial desk. And I have things above my desk. I have very old maps, framed beetles and moths and bugs, things like that, things that I really, really love, things that I grew up exploring and catching when I was a child. And books, of course. And it always begins with pencil on paper, and this is where the stories begin.